good morning. Thanks for joining us in Biology News.
We're going to talk about the refutation of the spontaneous generation theory. And in this topic, Maria, Anya, and I have prepared some special guests. The expert scientific Jesus Lozano and his crew, Renata and Aimee.
So let's go on the video.
It is about how can we create life with organic or non-organic things. There were three people who tried to prove this theory. Redi, who was an Italian doctor, then it was Spallanzani, and the last one who tried to prove this theory was Pasteur.
This is some important information about the scientists. The first one is called Francesco Redi. He was born in Arezzo in 1626, and he was a naturalist, doctor, and Italian poet. The second one is Louis Pasteur. He was born in France in 1822, and he is a French chemist and a bacteriologist. And the third one is called Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He was born in Holland in 1632, and he is a naturalist, and he was autodidact. And the last one is called Lazzaro Spallanzani. He is Scandinavian and he was born in 1729. He was a biologist and a natural history professor.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the spontaneous generation. That is a really interesting topic that we were hearing about, and there were a lot of questions to us, and now we're going to answer that question for you. Today, this scientific is going to stay with us and answer all these questions. Can you please answer what is the refutation of the spontaneous generation?
Yes, first I want to say thanks to the invitation, and then I want to answer this question that you sent me. This theory talk about the spontaneous life, how they appear, and this is answered by very scientifics that try to achieve this like really hard answer, explained by different experiments. So basically, it's that.
Thank you. That sounds really interesting. Where's the hypothesis about it?
Well, there's not like an exactly hypothesis because all these experiments want to achieve the same. But in a global way, we can say that they want the answer of where the life comes from, and they try to achieve with different experiments that they perform.
What experiments were performed to verify that hypothesis?
Yes, there were 4 experiments. I will talk about them in a global way. The first one said that we have 6 containers to open, to close, and to with a cloth. The other one talk about boiling water to kill microorganisms. The other one is basically the same, kill the organisms, but he refused the previously one, and at the end, Pasteur, that with help of his swan neck, that is the name of the container, he achieved sterilize, and he expect or stay as the one that have the reason.
What were the results of that experiments?
Well, in the first experiment, the result was that the flies needs to be in a certain contact with the meat, because the one that was open and the one that comes with a cloth were succeed, the flies can reproduce there, but the one that was closed, no. In the second one, like I said, Needleman didn't boil enough the water, so he didn't kill the organisms. And in the third one, that was the one of Lazzaro, he refused totally the previously one, and he said that he boiled enough and he killed the microorganisms that in that moment were there. And at the end, Pasteur made the experiment, the last experiment, inhaled with his swan neck. That's the name of the container. And he totally agreed that if he boiled, he will sterilize and the microorganisms will die. So that was the results of each one.
And where were the ones that practices that experiment? Who scientifics?
Well, these experiments were performed by Francesco Redi, John Needham, Lazarus Spallanzani, sorry if the pronunciation is bad, and at the end we have Louis Pasteur, that is a very recognized scientific.
Oh, thank you so much for your time and to answer all these questions that we got.
That's all for today, and don't forget to enter to kahoot.com
with a pin that appears down below in the screen to review your knowledge. Thanks for joining us and have a good night!